Hello! So, I thought I was going to touch on a language that I've been working with a little bit now, and I'm getting very excited about it. It's Go or Golang, or the cute blue little gopher that was like the language created by Google, which I think is pretty cool. So the reason why I think this is kind of cool is because it's been a while since I did C and C++ programming, and there is something very mentally gratifying and alluring with the idea of having like a system level language, like the most powerful form of programming that we have access to present day. Like C and C++ are the most powerful, unless you didn't, like, if I don't know how much programming you've done, but if you can use C and C++ as effective as other languages, you should do that. Now, odds are that you can't. The odds are that you cannot do that, because that, like, in essence, if C and C++ had the type of support and adoption that JavaScript or Java or C# or any of these more like higher level languages had, then we would all be programming in C and C++. These are, like, most of like JavaScript and the other, like, they are built using C and C++. That's how, like, so as you can imagine, like, everything is built on top of these libraries or these languages in essence. So Go, which then is virtually like it's like an in-between thing. It's not C and C++, but it is just a tiny bit higher up than C and C++, with a much nicer syntax, much more diverse developer tool experience, and like it has all these other nice little things on top of it, like, you know, imports and C and C++ have imports as well, but dynamic imports, package management. It has a nicer pointer system, in my opinion, and pointers, I'm not gonna cover pointers in this little video of mine, because that's a whole science. Well, it's not a science in of itself, but it's a more complex topic for discussion. Anywho, memory management and all of these things, like, in essence, Go gives you a richer experience, because being like, if you have, like, if you're gonna try system level language programming, system level programming, I would say, you know, start with that. Like, take a computer science course or something like that, try it out, and then you will know, if you know any other type of programming like Java that has garbage collecting and all that good stuff, you will know how lucky you are, because, like, it's a completely different type of experience from some. I mean, if you're on, like, Ruby on Rails, or if you're a Ruby programmer, odds are that you will probably vomit just right on your keyboard from, if you've never touched C and C++. It is so much more low level. You get so many things for free in higher level languages. Ruby gives, like, probably takes care of more stuff for the programmer than any other language. But anywho, so the reason why I'm so excited about Go is because Go is, as I said, just a tiny bit more a higher level than C and C++, and the tool suite is much nicer. You have, like, one of my favorite things is that it has an auto formatter. Like, how about that? It's a simple concept that Python does the same thing, right? It enforces one way of writing, completely eliminating all discussions about syntax and linters and all that bullshit. Very nice move there, Google. Love it. I don't care if it's double quotes or single quotes. I don't care. Just pick something and then we'll go from there. Don't care. And then on top of that, you know, you can compile it for each, of course, since it basically compiles down to a single binary or a binary file of some sort. You can compile it for any. It also runs on every platform. You have to port it, of course, like, or rather you have to compile it for that specific platform, but that's okay, you can do that. It's not a hassle in any way. And I mean, the luxury, like I love, once again, I love just producing a single program to a single binary file. That is so nice because, I don't know, it's a mentally satisfying thing that, oh, I have this little file here and that's my entire program. I love that. And on top of all these things that I love with Go, my absolute favorite thing, and this is the big one, this is like, the first big one is that it's a system level language that is not horrible to work in. The next thing is that it has inherent, like it's not the perfect interface, I'm gonna admit, but it does support web servers. It has the concept of web service in a system level language. How cool is that? I mean, that is amazing to me. Like that it actually has a high level interface for HTTP and like doing all this great stuff. Now I mean that's what I wish for Node as well. I wish that Express.js would be like the standard for Node.js's route handling and all of that stuff. It's not, but you know, can't have everything, or I wish I could have everything, but in this case, no. The same goes for Go. Like it's just very nice to see that the language is thinking one step ahead of things. Like that the language designers are thinking about, you know, because frankly, as I said, C and C++, the only thing they're really lacking are these more relevant concepts. Like the language was designed to do something very specific, like system level stuff. That's what these languages were made for. And Go can do that, but it also acknowledges the power in these languages with static typing and all of that good stuff, and puts just another one more layer on top of it, because you know, today the demands of the industry and the things that you're going to do, like we know that for the most part you'll have need of making you might need to make a web server. It's such like so I think it makes a lot of sense that you put that in there. I mean, if you're doing high-speed trading or anything that really needs to be performant, or for some reason you need that like system level access power that you have from these system level languages, I mean, to me it makes a lot of sense, and it opens up a very nice topic for conversation. This is the one thing I can't justify it. I'm emotional. I know I'm emotional about this, and I'm so excited about this potential that Go and Rust, to be fair as well. Rust does, actually, I'll talk about Rust in another video, but Go is the topic right now. So what I'm really excited about is this utopian vision. It's this thing that I was talking to you about with about like JavaScript, like having this language that does it all, the one language to rule them all. It's not probably going to be JavaScript. It's probably not. But Go has the potential to be something like that, because in my mind the language that will rule them all needs, once again, it needs to have the power of a system level language, but with the accessibility of something like JavaScript or Ruby or something. Like, it has to have both. You can't make something extremely academic and think it's going to be massively adopted. I mean, if that was the case, we would all be doing Haskell. But we don't. Same thing with Ruby. You can't go too much in one extreme. Like, Ruby is hands down the most accessible language we have, but it's not winning the adoption rate. Some argue that it's because of performance. Some argue that there are other things going on. I don't really have a side in that. But something like Go, where you have the power of a system language with a community, with a fresh mindset, acknowledging tooling and stuff like that, that is sexy as all hell. I mean, that is, if that isn't erotic, like bordering on IT porno, it's, I don't know what is. So I'm really excited about that language. The one thing I want right now, and that's thank you to IntelliJ so much for doing this, is a nice IDE. Like I use Visual Studio Code to do my Go programming, but I really want an IDE. Like Visual Studio and Microsoft, like you can say what you want about them, but Visual Studio is a really great IDE. It's really great, probably the best one there is. And for C++ programming, it's great. And when you do these type of like system level languages, I really want an IDE. And IntelliJ is making one. I think it's called Goland or something like that. And it's going to be released fairly soon. So looking forward to that and want to do much more Go programming.